Was there a different air, culture, I guess you could say,
Well,
experience?
you know you're going through something that's unbelievably difficult because the VMI is the hardest college in America to go to.
Really?
Yes.
I'm completely ignorant to it.
It's military. It's like West Point, but it's academically, it's one of the top 50 colleges in the country, almost measured by anybody.
Wow.
It's one of the few places in the world you can get an engineering degree in 4 years. Now, I flunked out of the engineering curriculum twice, so I wound up with a degree in English. And the only reason I took English is because they didn't have afternoon classes, so I could sleep in the afternoon before football practice.
What drove you to get there in the first place? Was it? It wasn't family
or
a mentor?
I grew up in Memphis, and our best friend was a retired rear admiral in the Navy.
Oh, wow.
And so and he had a big, huge house and lots of money, and so I always said, you know, I want to be like Admiral Phelan. And so I wanted to go to the Naval Academy. I got an appointment to the Naval Academy, but then when they told me how long I had to be in the Navy, I thought, okay, A, I can't swim, B, which I thought would be a knockout factor, but I mean, they wanted me to play football. And then I said, they wanted me to go to the prep school, then they wanted me to go to Naval Academy for 4 years, 6 years active duty, 4 years in the reserves. I said, I'll be 100 before I'm out. Yeah. Well, VMI was only 2 years active duty. And 4 years in reserves, and it was military, and I didn't have to go to a prep school. And so I'd never seen a mountain. So I went from Cocoa Beach High School in Florida, where I made first team All-State in football. And, you know, my name's in the stadium because I'm the first person to ever make All-State in Cocoa Beach. I was only 3 years old when I got there. And I go up there, and the place is gorgeous. And, you know, it's a dance weekend.
Okay.
And there's beautiful women everywhere. So I asked the coach, you know, on Sunday morning before I left, I said, hey, just out of curiosity, how often is it like this? He said, like what? I said, well, you know, all these good-looking women around here. Every weekend. Now I get up there, and it's 3 weekends a year. But no, I knew I was going through something difficult. I knew I was building relationships that would last me a lifetime. VMI has the strongest, for my money, it's the strongest network in America. Wow. If you go to VMI, I got an email this morning from somebody saying, hey, this guy from the class of 90 wants to talk to you. I have no idea who he is or what he wants, but because he went to VM, I'm going to talk to him.
It's almost like see someone driving a Harley, they have that culture.
Yeah, exactly. And so, no, I didn't realize I didn't realize the value of the VMI education until I was running the drug company, which is like 17 years later. And my boss, the guy that hired me, told me the only reason he hired me is because I went to VMI. And then I go to a scholarship banquet, and this guy who went to VMI 2 years ahead of me, who's a very close friend of mine, owns a gigantic construction company that builds Walmarts and Targets. And he stands up and gives a talk, and he got hired for the same reason. So I'm sitting there saying, you know, if two people tell you drunk, lay down. And so what I realized was that VMI gave me credentials when I didn't have credentials. And what's that worth? I mean, it's worth a lot. So my wife and I have donated an out-of-state scholarship, I think, now for 12 consecutive years. Wow. And you know, you get to get close to the athletes, and then you develop relationships with them.